Before we start, let's start with a quiz. Which city after Mumbai and Ahmedabad contributes the highest number of retail IPOs application in India? Your options are New Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, or a small city you have probably never heard of. India is quickly becoming one of the world's hottest market for IPOs. Billions of rupees are raised every year as companies go public and people across the country rush to get their share of the action. So here's a question for you again. Which city after Mumbai and Ahmedabad contributes the highest number of retail IPOs application in India? Your options again are New Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and a small city you have probably never heard of. Take a guess. It's a capital city, New Delhi, perhaps Bangalore, India's tech hub, or maybe Hyderabad, known for its booming IT industry, or perhaps it could be a very small, unexpected city that most of you may never heard or thought about in this list. Well, here's the answer. It's none of the big metros. The answer lies in the modest city in Gujarat, a city that's neither a financial capital nor a tech hub, and yet this small city recently shook the Indian IPO market, forcing one of the country's largest IPO to stumble. The city is Rajkot. Imagine a city that's neither Mumbai nor Delhi or any of the metros, but a small, unassuming town in Gujarat that can shake up the fate of a $1 billion company. Here's where Gujarati swagger meets stock market savviness, creating a powerhouse capable of bringing giants to their knees. And recently, this small city of Rajkot made headlines by derailing Hyundai's historic $3 billion IPO. How did this even happen? Why does Rajkot hold so much influence? And what secret lies with its powerful grey market? The media was abuzz. Financial experts saw it as a next big opportunity, and expectations soared.
India's biggest ever IPO,
Hyundai Motors, one of the biggest IPOs in the Indian history,
offering roughly 14.2 crore shares.
Will this listing boost India's stock market further?
Hyundai, a household name, had every reason to believe that it would win the Indian market favor. But there was a twist that almost no one anticipated, and it had nothing to do with big financial hubs like Mumbai or Bangalore. Instead, the twist came from Rajkot, a small city in Gujarat. Rajkot isn't a name most associated with high-stake finance. It's a tier 2 city with just around 2 million residents, far smaller than giants like Mumbai or Delhi or any other cities in India. But in the world of initial public offerings or IPOs, Rajkot has carved out an undeniable niche. As one of India's largest sources of retail IPO application, Rajkot ranks right behind the financial capitals of Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Let's look at the numbers. This graph here illustrates how Rajkot, with a fraction of the population, ranks third in retail IPO applications across India, outperforming metropolitans like Delhi, Bangalore, and Chennai. So what drives this fascination? Rajkot's brokers and investors are famously savvy, strategically investing in IPOs for listing gains. And for them, IPOs aren't just investment, they're a way of life, a secondary business. Families here open demat accounts for every family member, sometimes 100 in a single extended family, to maximize their chances of getting allotted shares. In Rajkot, IPOs are a family affair, and this collective participation gives this city its financial muscle. But what truly gives Rajkot its power isn't about the volume of application, it's a grey market. Here, under the radar, Rajkot's broker decide the unofficial grey market premium or GMP for upcoming IPOs. GMP is essentially the extra price people are willing to pay above the IPO listing price in unofficial, unregulated circles. It's not legal or official, but in Rajkot, it's accepted as the ultimate indicator of investor sentiments. Let's look at this data closely. Hyundai's IPO, initially hyped, started with a GMP of Rs 370. A strong premium like this would usually indicate a lucrative listing, but as the date approached, things began to change. Notice how this premium starts dipping. From 370, it falls to 200, then Rs 100, and finally goes negative right before the listing. For retail investors in Rajkot, this was the ultimate signal to stay away. And here's a kicker. By the day Hyundai's IPO closed, only half of its share was subscribed by retail investors. Rajkot's grey market, the unofficial backbone of India's IPO sentiments, had spoken. Rajkot's power in the IPO world isn't a recent phenomenon. This city's love affair with stock market dates back to decades. In fact, in the late 1970s, Dhirubhai Ambani himself came to Rajkot to promote the public listing of Reliance Industries. His roadshow drew crowds, and it was in this small town that Ambani gained a loyal investor base. Rajkot believed in his vision, and Reliance became a household name. Since then, every big player in the IPO game has known that winning Rajkot's favor is crucial for a successful listing. Hyundai's team visited Rajkot too, hoping to capture that legendary support. But unlike Ambani's roadshow decades ago, Hyundai's pitch fell flat. As one local broker put it, the IPO price should have been between 1600 and 1800 rupees. Instead, Hyundai set it at rupees 1960. A move that Rajkot's brokers saw as overvalued. And in Rajkot, if the local brokers don't back an IPO, the retail investors won't even touch it. So why does Rajkot hold so much sway in India's IPO market? It's a combination of community, trust, and sheer numbers. Rajkot has more than 1,000 brokers and sub-brokers, all tightly networked and extremely influential. As this graph shows, Rajkot leads the country in per capita IPO applications, making it a powerhouse despite its small population. Brokers in Rajkot are often seen as advisors, guiding local investors on whether to apply for an IPO or whether to hold or flip the shares, and even at what price they should sell. When these brokers give their opinion, it spreads like a wildfire, not just in Rajkot but across Gujarat Saurashtra region, covering over 15 million people. This trust-based network allows Rajkot's broker to influence the market in ways no other city can match. In fact, some say that Rajkot can single-handedly fill an IPO subscription quota if it chooses to. And when Rajkot decides not to back an IPO, it sends shockwaves across the country. Let's compare this with the IPO of Waaree Energies, a solar panel manufacturer. Waaree's grey market premium skyrocketed to nearly 100% above the issue price, meaning the investors were willing to pay double before the stock even listed. This is the opposite of what we saw with Hyundai, where the GMP was negative. Rajkot backed Waaree, and the result, a massive oversubscription. Waaree's management understood that the importance of Rajkot's blessing, and they got it. Hyundai, on other hand, underestimated Rajkot, and it costed them dearly. Waaree's IPO had everything going for it: strong GMP, high subscription rate, and even successful listing. Hyundai, despite its brand, saw a lackluster debut with a 1.5% discount to its issue price. The data speaks volume. When the Rajkot isn't impressed, even the biggest names can falter. To understand Rajkot dominance, let's look deeper into how grey market operates. Here, it's all about betting on the premium. Let's say a stock has an IPO price of rupees 1000 and the grey market bet it will list at 1300. The buyer agrees to pay the seller rupees 300 per share above the IPO price. On listing day, if the stock market hits 1400, the buyer profits, and if it lists lower, the seller benefits. All of this happens in cash and without official regulation. While there are grey markets in other parts of India like Jaipur, Indore, and even Mumbai, Rajkot's market is on another level. According to estimates, nearly 2 in 5 grey market transactions in India happen right here in Rajkot. The city has built a reputation for fair dealings, and this trust factor is crucial in unregulated market. You need strong connections or trustworthy referrals to even get a foot in the door. Rajkot's grey market run on an intricate network of brokers and sub-brokers, and it's all about relationship and reputation. Even I would very much say that this is very much similar to Surat's diamond market. Rajkot's IPO culture is unique and risky. Most people in Rajkot participate in IPO not as a long-term investors but as a flippers. They buy shares in an IPO with the goal of quickly selling them for listing gains. In fact, according to a recent SEBI study, more than half of IPO's investors in India sell their shares within the first week, and Rajkot leads the way in this flipping behavior. Flipping stocks can be incredibly profitable, but it's also high stakes. If the IPO lists at a premium, these investors make a quick profit. But if it lists at a discount, they can lose money just as fast. In Hyundai's case, when GMP went negative, Rajkot's broker advised their clients to steer clear, saving money from potential losses. Today with technology like WhatsApp and UPI, Rajkot's broker can instantly share updates, advice and investment opportunities with their clients. This tech-savvy approach has amplified the speed at which Rajkot's investor community can act, making it a powerful force in the IPO market. During popular IPOs like Bajaj Housing Finance, demand was so high that some brokers had to turn down requests to open new demat accounts. That's the level of enthusiasm here. Rajkot isn't just a city of investors, it's a city of financiers. When it comes to IPO, Rajkot's people don't just invest, they finance. Brokers say that nearly a quarter of families in Rajkot participate in IPOs, and many use IPO's profit to fund their future applications. This cycle creates a steady stream of capital for IPO market, and as this chart shows, Rajkot alone can put in enough applications to fill most mainboard IPOs at least once. For smaller SME IPOs, Rajkot's contribution can be as much as 10 to 20 times their subscription requirement. Promoters and merchant bankers know this very well. They make it a priority to impress Rajkot's investor before a listing. Now let's bring it back to Hyundai. Despite the initial hype, Rajkot's broker saw the GMP dropping fast as a warning sign. For Rajkot flipper who rely on listing gains, a negative GMP was clearly stay away signal. On closing day, Hyundai's IPO was subscribed just 50 times by retail investor, far below 90% threshold for successful IPO. Institutional investor came to the rescue at the 11th hour, but the damage was done. When Hyundai finally listed, it did so at 1.5% discount, falling short of its issued price of 1960. Hyundai's failure to connect with Rajkot investor combined with weak GMP meant that one of the India's largest IPOs was ultimately a letdown. Rajkot's significance to the IPO market is so profound that no major company going public in India ignores it. Roadshows by big companies almost always include Rajkot as a key stop. Hyundai tried but couldn't capture Rajkot interest. On the other hand, companies like Waaree Energies actively courted Rajkot's investor and saw tremendous success. This graph makes it clear that IPO that wins Rajkot approval often see stronger GMPs and better listing day performances. Rajkot's mix of strong broker network, a powerful grey market and a deep-rooted equity culture has made it indispensable for IPO-bound companies. So next time you see a massive IPO, remember, somewhere in Rajkot, brokers and investors are weighing its worth, making decisions that could either make it soar or sink. Rajkot isn't just a participant, it's a silent decision maker in its unique Gujarati way. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive into Rajkot's IPO dominance intriguing, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more such interesting content. See you soon.